Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Michael MBA500, and today we'll be going over my proposal for process improvements in regards to package delivery at ICI Services. So who is ICI Services? Well, we are a government subcontractor. We report to SubMep, and we do maintenance procedures for submarines and littoral combat ships. We are stationed in Dover, New Hampshire, about 20 minutes away from SubMep's headquarters at the Portsmouth Naval Submarine Base. And we work on PMS, the Preventive Maintenance System. Now, maintenance in the Navy is a little different than maintenance you may be thinking of. We're not fixing anything. We are doing what we call fix it before it breaks. If we keep up with lubricating moving items, if we clean things, if we make sure our operational tests are done, we can ensure that a piece of equipment will last longer. Think of it, if you maintain your car, if you change the oil frequently, if you wash it, if you do other things to ensure that it works, it's going to last longer than a car that's neglected. So we do this in what we call package delivery. So Big Navy will inform us of an issue out in the fleet or a new piece of equipment that a new submarine's getting. We then need to conduct research so we understand how this piece of equipment operates, and then we write what's called an MRC, a maintenance requirement card. This piece of paper clearly breaks down step by step what the sailor needs to do when he or she performs maintenance in the fleet. And this could be as simple as remove cover, do a visual inspection, clean off any corrosion on contact, stuff like that. A lot of maintenance is very simple, and some maintenance is very in-depth. It depends on the system that it's installed on. Now, eventually, after approved, this MRC goes out into the fleet, and then sailors conduct it. Now, our current package delivery process is 14 steps. And you might think to yourself, well, 14 steps isn't that bad. You probably might go through multiple steps, a dozen steps when you're writing a paper. You need to research it. You do your first draft. You double-check that draft. You do more research. And that's kind of what we're doing here, but there's a lot of back and forth in between each of these steps, and there's a lot of wasted motions. Now, I have this Prezi that will clearly map out everything that's going on in package delivery. So Big Navy will say, we have an issue with this piece of equipment. That then goes to our task manager, who will assign the package to a tech. The tech then does all the research necessary and creates a draft product. If we need pictures, we will go through CAD. If we need more clarification, we'll have a customer meeting. This could take a couple days getting all of this coordinated. So after we have that initial draft product, it goes to QA. QA reviews it for spelling, formatting, consistency. That goes back to the tech. Now, it goes back to the tech as pen and ink changes on paper. So the tech has to get that piece of paper, pull up the digital document, and make those changes. After that, we go to what's called a read meeting. This package is reviewed with other techs to just back each other up, make sure that formatting is there, consistency is there. You might have another tech who worked on this piece of equipment, so we can share our knowledge. Those are pen and ink changes. It goes back to the tech. Tech, again, pen and ink changes to digital copies. After that, it goes to the task manager for a draft review. Again, pen and ink changes. You're going to see a lot of this through this process. Tech updates those pen and ink changes. At this point, we may do a read with the customer just so everybody's on the same page with the progress that we're having. Anything that comes out of that read will be, you guessed it, pen and ink changes. This will go to word processing. Now, this is the good part, because word processing goes, these are English majors, writers, communication majors. They check for spelling, formatting, grammatical errors. They do all of their changes digitally, and they send that back to a tech in an email. Tech reviews this final product. We want to make sure all of our documentation there. Are we referencing manuals correctly? Do we have images? Does this product make sense? Is this product something that we would feel comfortable with working on out in the fleet? Goes back to QA, does their final checks, make sure everything's fine. If there are any issues, pen and ink changes. Now this part is going to be a little vague for this presentation. If this piece of equipment works with classified information, classified systems, classified units, anything sensitive, it goes under special projects, and that's about as much as I can talk about that in this presentation. After that, it goes to the task manager to do their final OK. They review it, and then they'll send it off to the fleet. What's the problem? Well, we had 14 steps there. Each step is multiple actions. There was a lot of back and forth. Now, this could take months. It could even take 3 or 4 days for the guy next to me to QA this. He literally sits 5 feet away from me in the office, but he's doing tasks as well and QAing. And not to mention, a lot of this is just wasted motion between people. We're doing paper copies, pen and ink changes that take a long time for the tech to update. So what's process improvement? Well, everything we do in life, whether it's personal or professional, can be made better. If we analyze the current steps we're doing, if we look at where we are wasting time, if we watch and learn and implement our new ideas and repeat that process, we can figure out time-saving methods. We can figure out ways to improve quality of product. We can figure out ways to cut down money we're spending. Now, two people really struck me when we were going through class, Frederick Taylor and Frank Gobreath. And I remember when I was reading about these two, I looked over at my wife and I said, we can implement this stuff at work. Now, mind you, we're not manufacturing, we're not laying bricks, but, we have a lot of useless movements. We can do a thorough motion study at ICI, and we can really speed up this process. Now, I'm not trying to say, hey, we're going to do every package in 2.5 months. What I'm trying to do is eliminate redundant steps and just streamline this process so everything is constantly moving forward. I want to take a Six Sigma methodology on this, but I don't really want to use the word Six Sigma because when you say that to a manager, they immediately think of spending money because there's training, there's certification, there's a lot of stuff that managers don't really want to listen to. So we're taking the methodology, but we're not getting anybody certified in Six Sigma. I want to have forward motion. I don't want the package ever going back to any one person. It's always moving forward. And we want to get rid of all this hierarchy. We're starting straight over from scratch. Everybody's equal. The package is constantly moving. We're going to be using Gantt charts too. But unlike traditional Gantt charts, we're taking the dates out. We're taking out triggers because every task is linear. When one ends, another begins. That's just the way it works. When I was in some industrial manufacturing in my last job, we relied heavily on Gantt charts, and that's how we planned our days, our weeks, our months, going by this Gantt chart. We really can't do that with process package delivery because of the research involved, especially when we get into special projects. But a Gantt chart will be our roadmap. I want this plastered up in the office wall. That way everybody sees it so we know where packages are as they go through their life cycle. So I have this new process here, a new Prezi we're going to look at, and this is my 3-step process. We're taking a lot of these steps and combining them. So people are going to be doing more work, but there's a lot less back and forth. And we're going to have 3 teams. Our task initiation is going to be a group of people. We're not having one tech doing this. We're having multiple people. Multiple people will do all the research. They will initially develop it. The CAD will be done right there. They will read the package right there. They will do an initial QA right there. When this step is done, this package is almost ready to go out to the fleet. But because we're using a small team that is working very closely together, we could speed up this process immensely. After that, it's going to go to the task review and quality assurance. These people will read it again, but they are more focused on formatting. Does this document meet Navy standards? They're going to do the word processing there. They're going to do another read, another review to make sure this is up to standards. Their main job is to read this piece of paper and say, will the sailor get hurt doing this? If yes, let's fix it now. If no, great. Send it out to the fleet. And then our task finalization. This is pretty much solely the task manager. Task manager is going to read it one more time and then sign it off for delivery. Because every package, regardless of who does it, the task manager has to sign it off. It's his name on the line that approves it for Big Navy use. That's it. 3 steps, easy peasy. We're using teams. We're eliminating this back and forth between individuals. Like I said, we're going to use this Gantt chart. Forget all these dates. I just had to put them in there because that's how the program uses. But this is our roadmap. You can follow it from researching product the whole way down to task manager delivery. This is our guiding roadmap that we're going to have up in the office that people can look at it. We'll put sticky notes on there with each task number so we can visually see all our progress as we go through. So we're going from a single tech doing the rework to a team. We're combining multiple steps, and we're streamlining our process. I estimate just by how long it takes me to do a package, this can cut 20% time off a package delivery. Well, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Here are my references. And again, I thank you for spending your time.